My thoughts for today are appreciation. Appreciate the little things you have. There was a guy once that was living in a cardboard box by the Mexican border. And the guy came along and said, "Why don't you stay in my shed?" So he moved into this nice shed with running water and all. And he appreciated it so much, the guy said, "Hey, I got a spare room in my house, but I'm going to put you to work." And because most people want things for free and they're looking for handouts. That's what I like about the Hispanic people, because they never beg for money. They'll say, "Hey, I'll paint your house, I'll cut your grass, I'll do some work for you." They always want to give something back, and that's what people should do, is give something back. I saw a homeless guy one time, and I gave him $20. I says, "Hey, come over to my office and pick up the papers around my office, and I'll give you some more money." He never showed up. He says, "I'll work for money." I've been ripped off by a lot of people, but I still like helping people. I got to tell you a good one. I'm in front of Walmart's, and a guy came over, and he had a ID on his neck where he worked for a big company in Prescott, Arizona. He says, "Somebody stole my truck with all my tools." So when I gave him the money, he handed it back to me. He says, "I need $43.50 for the bus." He says, "Here's your money back." So he says, "I'll pay you back. Here's my ID." So I gave him $50. And that was 3 years ago. I'm still I'm still waiting for the money back, but he had it down pat. But I got to tell you a better one. This happened to me about 40 years ago, when television first came out. There was a brand new car, and a guy was standing by thumbing, so I stopped to pick him up. He says, "See that new car?" He says, "That's mine. It won't start." He said, "Well, you take me over to my daughter's house." So I took him over to his daughter's house, supposedly, and it was a 3-decker in Massachusetts. And he came down about 10 minutes later, and he looked up. He says, "Okay, sis, I'll see you later. Goodbye." So I figured he'd visit his sister, and he says, "Hey, how would you like to have a television?" When it first came out, they were black and white, and they were hard to get, and they were expensive. He says, "I can get you one for $100. I says, "You can?" Because they cost, I don't know, $500 or $600 at the time. So he says, "Go to this warehouse." I went to the warehouse, and I got out of the car. I said, "No, no, no, you can't come in. You can't come in." He says, "They won't sell it to me if you're there with me." He says, "Give me the $100 and I'll come out with the television." Well, I waited about 2 hours, and I figured I got scammed again. But if you want to hear something better than that one, this is a real good one. A guy came into my office, white hair, a suit on, a tie. He says, "I was the union boss there. Trying to think of his name." He says, "I was his secretary, and I just did 10 years in jail, and they owe me Hoffer's secretary." He says they owe me $55,000. He says, "If you don't believe me, call the bank." So he gave me a number of this girl, Vicky, her name was, at the bank. I called the bank. She says, "Yeah, he's waiting for a $50,000 check." So I gave the guy about $300. I figured, hey, he's got $50,000 coming. I'll let him stay at my guest house. And my wife and I went on vacation for a couple of weeks. And when I got back, he was gone. I never heard from him since. And I got taken again. But there's pros out there. There's real pros out there. They know how to take you. But that doesn't mean you don't help. The Bible mentions that if you see someone in need, you should try to help them. But there's a lot of scammers out there, and they're sharp, and they know exactly what they're doing. Another one, this kid about 15 says, "My mother is down the street. She ran out of gas, and I got my brother and sister in there, and we need some money for gas." So I gave the guy, I says, I gave him $5. I said, let me follow you down to where your mother is. He just disappeared. He ducked out into a back of a building. He didn't have his mother waiting for gas. But there's professionals out there, so I just want to give you a few tips. But appreciate the little things you got. And if you appreciate the things you got, you'll get more. It'll come your way. But if you gripe and complain and this isn't right and that isn't right and I don't have this and I don't have that, you're going to get more of what you're complaining about. The Bible mentions that many times about appreciation. So appreciate the little things you have. Signing off, this is Sam Maranto. But you know, if you really want some help, you can go to my website, godwillhelp.com. Or you can spell Meranto, Sam Maranto. Most people spell it wrong. But godwillhelp.com, look at my website, and I've got sessions already made that even after God calls me home, I'll still be working, helping people. What are you leaving for a legacy? I have a lot of friends. Marty Cove, who's a movie star. He's done many movies, The Karate Kid. He's leaving a legacy. There's a lot of, like Elvis Presley. He's got all kinds of beautiful songs, still entertaining people. Mario Lanza, great opera singer. He left a legacy. So if you want to do something for your life, something that you can leave where people can remember you by, I want to say God bless all you people that are listening to me. It doesn't matter your race, your color, your religion, even you atheists. It doesn't make any difference. God loves you anyway. God bless you all.